So I would disagree with it because of the fact that people think that irreligious people, what they call irreligious people, are not religious. It's a crazy thing to think about, but most of the people that claim to be atheists think about God more than most religious people do. Okay? I mean, they've reordered, for a lot of them, they reorder their entire life around a belief about a belief of a being they say doesn't exist. Crazy thing to think about, but that is the reality. Most of them are very religious. It's just a different religion. You know, now granted, here in America, atheism is actually a religion. 2009, the Supreme Court ruled atheism is a religion. That freaks people out. But it was a court case where a guy was in jail. He was arguing that he should get the freedoms to practice his religion. His religion, he wanted to practice atheism and be able to get on the internet and research atheism, where other people got privileges in jail to be able to go for worship services. And so he actually sued and won. The Supreme Court ruled that atheism is a religion. He got his time to go to the prison library and get on the internet.
If that's true, if atheists, if they were smart, they would fucking sign up for that because they would get a tax break.
Well, they have already. So it is kind of funny that there was an atheist church that was I forget what year that one started, but it was within 2 years the church had a split. But it was an atheist church, and they were looking for the tax break, and they were doing all kinds of things. But what did you end up seeing? They weren't doing it for the real motive that, you know, when you see a Christian church, the thing that unites them is Jesus Christ. Now this is a little bit different than any other religion. Okay, I will say that Christianity is unique because every other religion is focused about a set of moral systems, you know, doing certain things to keep moral. Christianity is not that. It's around a person. And so in that sense, it's one of three things that makes Christianity unique. And that's why I say that there is an objective way to examine, when you look at all the religions in the world, there's an objective way to figure out which one's true, which one's reality, which one's right. And because there's certain things about biblical Christianity that makes it unique from any other religion. One example is, like I said, it's not a system of morality. If you have a man-made religion, it's going to be a bunch of, here's what you do to try to earn your way to God. So in my background, Judaism, not biblical Judaism, but the Judaism we'd have today, which would be called rabbinic Judaism, we would do Torah. Obey the law. You do good deeds. You do what the law, and the law would be the commands in the first 5 books of the Bible. You do that, and you're going to earn yourself heaven. If you look at Roman Catholicism, they would say, you have faith plus work. So again, it's what you do, those actions you do that are going to earn you a right to be with God. If you look at Islam, it's do one good deed to weigh out 10 bad. Now, mentioning these different religions, I should say, I've written a book on world religions. So I spent 14 years studying these religions from their sources. So I don't just say things off the cuff.
Drop the book. What's the name of the book?
It's called What Do They Believe? And so what I did was not only systematize what these different religions believe, the major Western religions, but I went to authorities in those religions and said, am I accurate? Now, this is something people don't do. What most people do is they put something out and they say, oh, you know, Islam believes that once you die, you have 70 virgins. No, they don't. They don't. That's not in the Quran. Now, there are certain sects of Islam, but you can't say all of Islam believes that. And so there is a difference when you say that that's what Islam believes. You have to be fair with what Islam actually believes and not say that all of them believe something that only one minor sect may believe. That would be dishonest. And so because I didn't want to be dishonest, I went and verified it. And so what you end up noticing, though, is every man-made religion is going to be based on man being able to earn his way some way or somehow. We do something to get this God that created everything, to get him to be on board with us, really, to get him to approve of us. And so what you end up seeing is every man-made religion is going to have that. So all you have to do is look at every religion and say, which one has a human element to it, that it's faith plus works, or we do good deeds, or Buddhism, Hinduism, the things we do in this life affect our next life. And when we finally are pure and cleansed of all of our wickedness, we come to nirvana, we come to that ultimate state of realizing we're God. But that's still based on, what we do. I remember outside of NYU at Washington Square Park, and I was having an open air discussion with a professor from NYU, and he was a Buddhist. And he said, Buddhism's not based on works. I said, well, what gets you from this life to have a better life in your next one? He says, that's based on the works you do. And the whole crowd started laughing. And he was looking, he couldn't figure it out. That he just said it's based on works, which is what I was saying. But Christianity is the only one that's based on what Jesus did. We could never, ever pay for what we've done. You and I both, and when we were on Wisdom, we talked about this. You and I both break God's law. Now, I may have broke it far more than you. It's not about who's better or worse on a morality scale. You may be a far more moral person than me, but we both admitted both of us are liars. Both of us, have stolen things. Both of us have been angry with someone.
When the fuck did... Oh, on Wisdom. I was about to say, when the fuck did I say that today? I know I have, but I don't know when the fuck I said it today. Holy shit.
But we both have been angry with people.
Right? Yeah.
Look, I grew up in New Jersey. You can't drive on the roads in New Jersey.
I've wished Jesus would come down and just punch people in the face in New Jersey. Are you kidding me?
So what you end up seeing, though, is God judges our heart, not just our actions. And he looks at that and he says, if you're angry with another person, he judges that as murder of the heart. You didn't actually commit the murder, but he's going to judge our motives. So you look at that and you and I would be guilty, right? Well, because he's an infinitely holy being, an infinitely just being, it has an infinite consequence. And that's why what makes Jesus unique is the fact that he's fully God. He can pay an infinite fine because he's an infinite being. But that wasn't enough. He also had to become a man and never break the laws that we break to be a substitute. And that's what makes Jesus unique. And then it's not based on our works, but it's what he did on the cross 2,000 years ago. When he died, he paid the fine. What do? We just accept that. We can't do anything. And so it makes that unique. And it's also a third thing that ends up doing is making, as far as Christianity being unique of any religion. If you look, for example, of Islam would always refer, when they refer to God, they're gonna say, Allah most merciful. He's the most merciful. But the reality is you can't have mercy and justice at the same time in the same way. In other words, if the law said that if you smack me, I must smack you back, and I don't think you would smack me, but say that was the law, that if you smack me, I must smack you back. Justice would say I smack you. Mercy would say I let you go. But if I just tap you, I'm not showing justice or mercy. It's neither. Justice would say the full weight of the punishment must be paid. Mercy would say the full weight of the punishment must be forgiven. The only way that could be resolved is that God himself took the full weight of what we do wrong, our sin, upon himself. And now that that's been paid, he can offer full mercy because we don't pay that penalty. And so those are some things that make it unique. And that's something you can look at objectively. I mean, you could just look at any religion and say, do they add human effort, or does God do all the effort? And that we can examine.